The first big purchase over $100 I don't regret is actually sitting in my living room. I'm talking about my couch, or better put, my B-Roy Hill Triple E slate sectional with high density foam cushions. But before I reveal the cost, in this video I'm gonna share with you 8 of the expensive items my wife and I own, the price of each of them, and how they've improved our life. Whether it's our productivity, our fitness, or even our health. Okay, so this couch, this bad boy was $1,000, but it made the biggest difference to our living space. Before we bought it, we only had a small couch that we bought off Facebook Marketplace for $100. It was a great piece in our apartment for a year and a half, but we were just lacking in one department: coziness. I realize this now, but when your living room doesn't have a carpet or your couch is a little too small, it doesn't feel like the most comfortable place to hang out or to even invite guests over. But man, once we got the large rug and added this big old sectional, we just leveled up the coziness. And I do believe purchases like this are really worth it because my home is where I work. It's also where my wife chills after her work. And it's the place where we want to invite people and we want it to feel warm and welcoming and cozy. So I am so glad we put some money towards a large piece of furniture to really tie the space together. And no, this couch was not financed. We actually saved up month by month over time to finally make this upgrade. We called it our new furniture fund, where we always put in $150 to go towards any furniture pieces we might want to get or upgrade. The next item we own that's over $100 that actually improved my productivity is in the second bedroom, or as we call it, our office. This item really changed the way I work, and I didn't expect it to make such a big difference. Before, when I used to just sit at my desk, I would start getting a little too comfortable and my posture would just get all out of whack and I would start hitting these productivity slumps, especially in the afternoon. That's why getting a standing desk was such a great idea. With a standing desk, I'm more naturally inclined to shift around my weight, to stretch a little, or to even take quick breaks to walk around the room. And of course, standing naturally keeps your blood flowing, which would make you more alert and more focused on your work. And that helps me a ton because most of what I do is a lot of writing and editing. And nowadays, they're not even that expensive. You can get a standing desk like this one for $116 at Walmart. It's totally worth it for me in order to feel less sluggish during the day and to stop looking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Okay, the next thing that improved my life was crucial for improving the speed and the quality of my work. All my life, up to this point, I only bought used Lenovo laptops off of Facebook Marketplace, and they worked for the very simple task that I needed for college, like writing essays and sending emails. But today, as someone that requires other software to do my work, I just needed more speed, more RAM. That 4 gigabytes of RAM was no longer cutting it when it came to editing 4K videos and also hosting live webinar calls. Also, it was super annoying to use a PC with my iPhone to transfer pictures and videos to the computer. I would have to get the USB cable, plug in my iPhone, and hope the videos would actually go through. So that's why purchasing my MacBook Air with the M2 chip was a game changer. I could finally, hallelujah, use AirDrop. Man, that made importing so much faster, and of course, with 16 gigabytes of RAM, I could now edit 4K videos with no problem. That's why you're here, and make sure to subscribe if you've been enjoying the video so far. It's been 3 years owning my MacBook Air now, and it's still working like butter. It is so smooth, and honestly, Tim Cook, he has me in his grasp because it's just so nice to have Apple integrated between my devices. And there's even another item on this list that comes from Apple, so keep watching. Yeah, Mr. Cook probably has enough information on me to steal my identity and create a clone of me in China, but at least my content creation process is 5 times faster than before. At the time of purchase, this MacBook Air was a little over $2,000, but ultimately with this purchase 5xing my productivity, I wouldn't be surprised if I did some math and found a crazy return on my investment. All right, this is a big one, but the next thing I don't regret buying cost me about $1,900 a month, and that is my 2-bed, 2-bath apartment. We got about 1,200 square feet, and this is way larger compared to my wife and I's first apartment that was only a 1-bed, 1-bath. And for us, this was a great deal because our first apartment was about $1,800 a month with utilities, and this current apartment is $1,900 a month with utilities. So only $100 more, but we get an extra bedroom and bathroom. The reason we chose our last place, which was more expensive for less space, is because it looked more luxurious, it had nicer amenities, but in reality, we realized we don't even use the amenities no matter how nice they are. So after learning from that experience, we decided to go with an apartment that had more space within the unit itself, and we sacrificed the fancy schmancy amenities that we would never even use. And no, at the moment, we're not thinking of buying a house, and we don't think renting is a waste of money, because choosing to spend this $1,900 a month on rent is serving us really well. Because continuing to rent right now gives us flexibility, which is huge since we're still figuring out our careers and where we really want to settle location-wise. And not gonna lie, it's nice that we're freed from all the hidden costs of home ownership, like the maintenance, property taxes, and all those, surprise repairs. We'd rather not sink all of our money into a house right now before we're, fully prepared. So when the time is right to buy though, we'll be in a much better position to do it without the financial headache. Okay, here's the next item on the list that's actually also an Apple product. If you're like me, I absolutely cannot stay still while I'm on the phone with someone. I gotta be moving around, maybe pacing back and forth, maybe doing the dishes, or maybe even driving. That's where these Airpods come in. These ones are the 3rd generation, and of course they're hands-free, so I can do whatever I need to do and still have a conversation without worrying about the other person on the other end not being able to hear me clearly. The sound quality is amazing, and it's as if I'm speaking right next to my phone or a mic, every time, no matter what I'm doing. And of course, because they're integrated with my other Apple products, it makes everything so much smoother. For example, once I finish a call on the phone, I can hop on my MacBook Air and they'll automatically connect to that, so I can just jump right into work without any hassle or wires. It's just seamless. And here's a little FYI, these were actually a gift from Ashleah, but you can buy Airpods for just about $100 nowadays. The next item I cherish is very helpful for travel. Back in the day, I used to go as cheap as possible on this item. I would either take a used version of this on trips or just go to Ross and find the absolute cheapest model, whatever you want to call it, to use for my vacations. But every time something would happen, I would break a zipper on this thing, I would poke a hole through it, or it would not be able to handle all the abuse from the TSA. This thing got beat up more in the airport than Rihanna in Chris Brown's house. That's why I decided to finally buy a quality piece of luggage, or maleta if you're Hispanic. I absolutely love this carry-on that was sent to me by the company Air. And yes, they did send it to me for free. I just had to put up a story of them, and you can't blame me. I'm a frugal guy. If I have platforms, I'm gonna take the free stuff. But this particular one would have cost me $300 to buy. But in reality, guys, I know you can find something just as high quality as this for maybe around $150 to $200. And if you just wanna have the one that I have, go to my description and I'll put the link right there to it. Lately, although it's a carry-on, they've been checked in a lot, especially when there's a full flight and there's not enough room in those overhead bins. And just like any piece of luggage that's handled by the TSA, they're gonna get scuffed on the surface. But I do know that the wheels, the shell, and the handle are super durable. My old pieces of luggage and carry-ons used to remind me of shopping carts at Walmart. 1 or 2 wheels would be in the ICU, the handles couldn't come out anymore, or the handle couldn't go back into the luggage. So now with these quality pieces, we are rolling smoothly on the airport tile, the airport carpet, or even on rough asphalt. My next big purchase is for improving my fitness. And I'll be honest with you, I wish I had a gym option in my area 24-hour fitness or Crunch, but I don't. So I've now had to work out at this gym that costs $75 a month, and it's about 6 minutes from me, so that's nice. But fitness is very important to me, and not just fitness and being healthy, but I'm trying to build some muscle right now too. Because I'm in my mid-20s right now, might as well take advantage of this time to get in the best shape of my life. And of course, when you're trying to do some bodybuilding, that's a little bit of an extra step above just trying to stay healthy. Because yes, you could make the point that I don't need to spend that much on a gym membership. I could stay fit and healthy by just running and doing some calisthenics. But for this hobby of mine, the gym membership is definitely worth it. And if you do the math, $75 a month is around $900 a year for this membership. Okay, so now this next item cost me $4,800 back in 2020 when I bought it. You would be jealous of that price now because I'm talking about my car. One, it's a Honda Civic, and if you know anything about Hondas, man, those Japanese people built those things to last. It's also a paid off car, so I don't have to worry about car payments. And another side perk is because this Honda Civic is gray and a very basic car, It helps me with insurance when they do underwriting so that I don't get charged as much for my premium. And because it's not new, it's used, I don't really stress or care that much about the little bumps, dings, and scratches that happen with any car. And if I haven't said enough good things about this car already, it saves me a lot on gas because it goes 31 miles per gallon and it has a sunroof. For the vibes. Okay, if you've been paying attention to the whole video, you might realize that I haven't talked about any items I've purchased around food. Okay, so here's a video on your screen where I'll share many of the ways that I have saved over 35% on my grocery bill. It might shock you guys, might not, so just give it a click and I'll see you guys over there.